All right, let me go back to one thing, and the question I asked you was, would you ever conceive of threatening to shut down the government again?
Well, as I said, I didn't threaten to shut down the government the last time. I don't think we should ever shut down the government. I repeatedly voted to fund the federal government.
Senator, if you didn't threaten to shut down the government, who was it that did? I mean, but we'll go on to something else. It was Harry Reid and President Obama. But Bob, look, I understand that the White House over and over again, the shutdown is the Republicans' fault. And I understand that's what you're repeating. But the reality is, I voted over and over again to fund the federal government. And the reason we had a shutdown, look, the Democrats were very candid. I know they told you, they said, we think the shutdown benefits us politically. Right now, the Democrats are telling you that they want another shutdown because they think it benefits them politically. Why is it hard to understand that they force a shutdown when they think it benefits them politically? Senator, I know what Republicans were telling me, like John Boehner, who said this was a disaster and never again. But let me ask you one more question here. The government is approaching another... Well, now, just a minute. Just a minute. The government is approaching another deadline, February 7th, when it will run out of money unless Congress agrees to raise the debt ceiling. Will you agree to raise the debt ceiling, or will you demand something in return?
Look, of course we should do something. We shouldn't just write a blank check. 5 years ago, the national debt was $10 trillion. That took 43 presidents over 200 years to build up $10 trillion in debt. Today, it's over $17 trillion. It's grown nearly 70% with one president in 5 years. And if you ask any American outside of Washington, should we just keep raising the debt ceiling while doing nothing to have fundamental structural controls on spending to get Washington's spending problem under control? It doesn't matter if you're talking to a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, a libertarian. Anyone outside of Washington says, of course. And it's worth noting, in the past, the debt ceiling has been the most effective lever point for real structural reforms, whether it was Gramm-Rudman, which did a great job of restricting government spending, getting it under control, or whether it was the Budget Control Act. Both of those came through the debt ceiling. And what the president is saying is he just wants a blank credit card to keep growing and growing the debt. And I think that's irresponsible. It's irresponsible to our kids and grandkids to stick that debt on them because we can't